Good morning, students. In this video, we're going to be reviewing factoring by grouping. Factoring by grouping is a technique to factor polynomials when we have 4 terms or more. We're going to be factoring 12x cubed plus 2x squared minus 30x minus 5. But let us not forget that we have other techniques. You always have to check for a GCF. So when you look at the 12, the 2, the 30, and the 5, they don't really have a GCF. Okay, so there's no GCF to factor out. Differences of squares really works when you have 2 terms, and we don't have 2 terms, so we know this technique is not going to help us. And we realize, like, oh, we have 4 terms, so let's try grouping. Grouping works like this. You're going to split the problem into 2 terms. Literally like this, and we're going to put a plus sign between them. So these 2 terms are going to go here. And these 2 terms are going to go here. Notice how I brought down the signs with them. Okay, I didn't really change it. I just kind of added this plus sign in the middle. And what we're going to do now is we're going to do GCF factoring. So when I look at these terms between the 12 and the 2, I can pull a 2 and put some more space there. And x cubed and x squared, I'm pulling x squared. Alright, so the 2x squared goes outside, and I have to figure out what goes in here. So I'm going to divide each of these by the GCF. And 12 over 2 is 6, x cubed, x squared, I have an x, plus sign, plus sign. The 2's cancel and the x squares cancel, so all of this cancels, so I have a 1 left over. We'll bring down this plus sign. Okay. Now you need to factor this one by GCF. And between the 30 and the 5, I have a negative 5 that I can pull out. They don't have a common variable. So I pull out the negative 5. And I need to figure out what's left inside the parentheses. And negative 30 over negative 5 is 6x. Negative 5 over negative 5 is a positive 1. You always want to end up with a positive number here. You see how that was negative 30? So that's why I pulled out the negative sign. Okay, so then I notice that these 2 terms are now sharing a common factor. So we can pull that factor out first. And the parts that are left over are these. So you would write them as the second factor. 2x squared, oh, that's a minus 5. Minus 5. So this would be the 2 factors. And this is not difference of squares. So we can check. You can check the answer. And do these 2 really do multiply to those 4? Well, let's check. We have a 6x plus 1. We have a 2x squared minus 5. 6x times 2x squared is 12x cubed. 1 times 2x squared is 2x squared. 6x times negative 5 is negative 30x. And 1 times negative 5 is negative 5. This is an x cubed, so it doesn't have other like terms. This is an x squared, so it doesn't have anything else with an x squared. This is a minus 30x and a minus 5. And when you go back and you can, whoops, sorry, lower the camera. When you compare what you get here to the original problem, you notice that it's exactly the same. So then yes, this is the factorized version of that problem.